Hello. It's been a little while since I've done one of these late night commentaries. Late night live commentary, if you can even comprehend such an original and unique phrase. Yeah, my daily mission is Spear Legend wins, so I thought what better time, what a perfect time than to talk about Dusk, who I feel is the most forgotten, the most, maybe underrated isn't the right word, because I think people think that Dusk is good, but he doesn't see a lot of play. And he gets overshadowed by, I think, every other orb legend in the game. I missed my true combo there. That was embarrassing. I mean, even right now, we see more representation. Like, we see Petra representation in the video, but I almost never see Dusks. And I think there's a few reasons for that. Is it because Dusk is bad? You know, that's the first question that I think people ask, is like, is this legend bad? And the short answer is no, I don't think Dusk is bad at all. I actually think Dusk is very strong. But then why don't we see him, you know? If he's a good character, why is Petra played so much more? Why is Thor played so much more? Why is Fate played so much more? Why not the OG Orb Boy, you know? And I think there's a few reasons. The first is that if you're like an Orb main, you're only playing Orb, this is your main weapon, you want the best Orb character, you don't necessarily pick up Dusk. You pick up, likely, Fate or Thor. Because I think Petra's signatures are not as good as those two. So likely you play those two. If you're playing only Spear, likely you're picking someone like Wushang or maybe Ada, you know? Someone with an extremely strong Spear, an Orion, for example. Where like Dusk Spear isn't bad, this signature are fantastic, this one is doo-doo. A little doo-doo, not gonna lie. Little bit of a stinker. But this one's great, and this one's great. Like, you can't really punish that one. It's very, very good. So that kind of makes sense then, right? Like, if you're not playing Dusk because he's the best Orb, and you're not playing Dusk because he's the best Spear, because I think those other legends that I mentioned do get play for those exact reasons. I think Fate gets a lot of play, Thor gets a lot of play because they have super strong orbs, along with other reasons, but I think that's a big one. I think Wushang gets a lot of play because he has a super strong Spear Kit, you know? That's a reason to pick Wushang over other legends. But, like, Dusk isn't that legend for Orb or for Spear, in my opinion. So, like, the people that play Dusk, I guess what makes sense is people that play Orb and Spear. And I guess that's just less than those that play Orb and the other weapons. Is what I presume. And also, like, those other legends are super fun. Petra, I mean, I play Petra. She's so much fun to use. Like, anytime I lock in Orb, I'm like, I'm gonna play Petra. That's a lot of fun. Or Fate, because you can just have those super, super absurd signatures. But like with Dusk, it's like, it's similar with Orb. His Orb signatures are great. I went over his Spear signatures in the last match. Like, those are nothing to scoff at. So like, why don't I pick Dusk? I guess I just don't even think about it. But he is a good legend. He is a strong legend. It's just like, underplayed. And I guess speaking on his Orb signatures specifically, because I mentioned they're good, but like N-Sig you saw right there, you can get a nice little string out of Sidelight. It's quick, it hits grounded, and it hits aerial. The side sig is super quick, right there. Nice 1-2 punch knockout. And then the down sig has almost no recovery time. You can edge guard with it. It's very nice. That kind of thing makes me wonder a little bit about just weapon comps in general, you know. So BMG, if you're not aware, they've gone on record saying that the first legend of any weapon, of any new weapon that is, so Jaehyun with Greatsword is the most recent one, you can look at that as an example, their secondary weapon is always a weapon that is generally looked at as simpler or more basic, and then their stat spread is also meant to be balanced, like all around balanced. So like Jaehyun's a perfect example where Sword is his other weapon. He's got the small sword and the big sword. And then his stat spread is obviously very evenly spread out. And it's the same is true with Dusk, albeit he has 7 decks, which is something that I feel like holds him back. If he didn't have 7 decks, you know, maybe those points in decks would be reallocated to like defense and he'd be a tank, and that would just make him a better character given the state of decks right now. But that's another topic. I honestly think he's fine. Like, he's got 5 defense and he's got 5 speed, which is pretty much the baseline for what you need. And honestly, like, spear, again, is like a bit more of a, and by basic I don't mean like easy. Oh, I thought I dodged that, but I didn't. Oopsie. I don't mean easy, I just mean like, it's not, you see what it does. Like, as a newer player, you can look at spear and you can understand what it does. Whereas something like greatsword, something like scythe, I think it's harder to tell. So they try to make the first character with new weapons to have weapons like that. But really, I think spear and orb is like a perfect combination. I really do. I think they complement each other very well. Spear is a weapon that can sometimes struggle to kill, and orb is a weapon that controls the space, like when you're in kill percent, very well. And like orb and spear are both weapons that control space on their own super well. Like spear is super good at zoning, orb is very, very good at controlling space with dare and sare and nair. And oh no. Anyway, I was saying that I think his signatures also complement that idea of space control pretty well. That Ensig on the orb, you know, it covers the ground and the air, and then it's got that little explosion if someone's jumping up. They don't want to be in that zone. That downsig is perfect as a long-range poking tool that you really, if the other player, the other opponent, I was trying to say all three of those at like once. I said all three of those when I said two things. Yeah, I'm a mess. You really can't punish it if the opponent spaces it properly, or they can't punish you if you space it properly. It's very good at zone control and area denial. And then, if you look at his spear signatures, that one is a good example of area denial. Someone can't be jumping up in your space like that if you got such a quick end sig. And then the side sig as well as a forward poke, and then grounded spear kill options is always good to have. Let's take a look at this down sig for a little bit. Alright, there I used it, and not an optimal position, but like right there, that Asuri did not punish my signature. They punished my jump after, which I shouldn't have done. Could have spot dodged or could have attacked. But like it has such little recovery time, it's very hard to catch. So they kind of complement that idea of control very well. I don't know, I just think he's a very well designed character. I think Spear Downsig is also an example of them trying to like show off area control. I think it doesn't necessarily work at that. Oh, I backdashed by accident. Because it's kind of not very good. But if the spear went significantly further, I think that would be a good solution. Or if it had less recovery time or something like that, or hit higher. But the general idea is there, and you can see it. So I do think he's a well-designed character. I do think he's a very strong character, especially Spear in its current state is very good. I think Orb has always been good. I guess I am biased because I play it, but yeah, I just think he's a very good character. And if you really don't vibe with any of the Orb characters, give Dusk a try, because I'm sure, you know, if you're like most players in the game, given that he's very underplayed, you probably haven't given him the biggest of shots. And I'd recommend it, because he's a lot of fun, and he's very fluid. That's the word that I would use to describe Dusk, is his signatures, with the exception of that one, we know which one I'm talking about, is very, very fluid. And that's something that I really like in a character. And honestly, just making this video right now, because again, I didn't even plan to make this, I'm only doing it because my daily mission. I'm surprised I don't play Dusk more, and I think the biggest part of it is that I just don't play Spear very much. But like, I should play him more. He's a lot of fun. This match has gone so far over my head. To be honest, every single match of this video has gone over my head, but you know, that's how these things go. When I just start talking, I stop looking at the game. Or I start going on autopilot, which is still looking at the game, but you know what I'm saying. I didn't even pick up that weapon there. You see what I'm talking about? Alright, let me get my head in the game a little bit as I'm on this last stock. We'll mount a comeback. I guess I'm in the lead, technically. We'll mount a... I'll take damage on purpose, so then I can mount a comeback. That's what I'll do. Yeah. Spear in its current state is very good. Sidelight change and downlight change make it so your strings are consistent, and then you get double downlights, and then your downlight always will kill at kill percent as long as you land it. Let's see if I can land a signature here. I want to land an N-sig, if I can squeeze it in there. I'm actually kind of scared. Big sig hits me, I'm gonna die. That would be bad. That would be pretty bad. But yeah, that N-sig is super, super quick, and it kind of matches his archetype of having like 7 dexterity. Although, even though I was talking about how that's not necessarily an asset in the current state of dex, it is something, that's for sure. And it kind of matches the vibe they're going for, I guess. I said vibe like twice already, I don't know why. I never say vibe. Maybe I'm in a mood or something tonight. I don't know. I think someone like Dusk is one of those legends that when you have someone that's super competent, super good at using their different options in their kit, it can be very scary. Like someone that's super good at, you know, I'm thinking about area control and space denial and something like that, like Azov, like I'm playing as right now, or Kaya or something like that, where they just have such mastery over their different options and they're hard to hit, they're hard to track down, given that both their weapons are good at controlling space and have a pretty superb neutral game and everything like that, you know, it's hard to deal with it. And that makes me a little worried or wonder a little bit, like, if there is a super good Dusk out there, like, what do I do against that, you know? But I guess that's kind of to prove the point that I think Dusk is... Unfortunately, there's a few things that, like, the high dex stat, you know? If he had 2 less dex and 2 more base defense, I just think he would be a better character. And he's overshadowed by the other orbs and by a couple of the other spears, but by no means does that mean that he's worse, like straight up worse than them. It just means that I think of the people that might potentially pick him, the field is a lot smaller than, you know, some of those other legends. It's funny actually, I haven't played Orb in like 3 weeks. I've been you know, playing Jaehyun this week, practicing a little bit of the Cody Jr., my Barraza, and doing some other stuff, and then not playing a ton of Brawlhalla, given that some things are going on. I've been a bit tired, so I haven't been playing the most of it. But this is my first time playing Orb in a good while, and I'm just reminded about why I really like this weapon. And the design of it just feels so fluid, and you really do have so much control when you use it, feels like, which is a very good feeling to have, I mean, obviously. And Dusk is no different, I guess is the point I was going for, which is that he might not be that Petra, he might not be that Fate, or that Thor, but that's okay, because he's him. And he's fun. And I do enjoy him, so I'll probably be playing a little bit more Dusk every now and then, if I remember to, honestly. He really does get overshadowed. I've said that like 3 times now, but like really overshadowed. Like in tournaments, you never really ever see Dusk in like the top 8. You see Fate, you see Thor, you see Petra in top 8, like plenty of times. I guess less so Petra, but definitely Thor and Fate. I would even say Petra is a little overshadowed by those two, given how much they're played. But yeah, he's fun, and he's good, and I guess that's the whole video, is what I've been saying the whole video, is he's good, and he's fun, and he's forgotten. But you know what? Not today. Not forgotten today. My name is still Big Tony, from yesterday's video that I made with Phazon, which was so much fun. I guess I will talk about that for a little bit, because I was talking about this on stream today. So today is the same day I recorded the AMA, which is probably going up tomorrow. I don't know, I'm editing it right now. I might not even upload it, I don't know. I get my own head about things like this. But anyway, that was the first time in a long time that I've recorded a video with someone else. I used to record with Boomy all the time, but then I moved to the West Coast and time zones and school and everything that we kind of just didn't. But I recorded with Phazon. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I forgot how much fun it is to record with other people, so I'm going to be doing that more. I'm also going to try and do interviews on stream with different players and community members, and I'm kind of awkward and very socially anxious, so it'll probably take a while for me to get decent enough at interviews for it to be enjoyable to watch, but I'll get there. I'm going to start with like some of my friends, interview them, you know. I think it'll be fun. And then we'll move on to other people as I get better. I'm getting a bit sleepies, a bit tired, so this will be the last one. We'll make it count. We'll make it a live commentary. A true late night live commentary. We'll give play-by-play. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. I'll take a look at my screen, take a look at the other player. They are AFK. Okay. We're gaming. So right there I went for a downlight into Nair, which is a true combo. Because, you know, we love our true combos. Gotta hit those, gotta know those. Seems like this player likes to go for a lot of instant strings, so I am lagging. My inputs feel underwater right now. You can't tell, because it's not like you're playing with me, but it feels like I'm playing through molasses. But you know what? We'll play through it anyway. Seems like they go for a lot of instant strings, which makes me think if I just dodge the first one with probably an aggressive dodge, like a dodge in, a dodge down, a spot dodge into GC, I should be fine. I thought they might jump there. That was... I did that on purpose. I knew they would do that. Alright. They look AFK again. It's mental warfare. As guns, you kind of struggle with that 45-degree angle, so I went for that immediate dare, because that is that 45-degree angle, and I think orb into guns is a very, very good matchup for orb. Or at least, I don't know about very, very good matchup, but I think it's, orb has a lot of tools that make guns' life difficult, and one of them, and the big, like a big one is that dare. The dare and the Sair. There we go, caught the recovery. I thought they would dodge in, but the recovery is pretty much the same thing, based on where they're going. I'll pick up the spear for the last stock. No, we'll see what I can do with it. They are AFK once again. I don't know. I don't know what to do about this, guys. Alright. I was gonna say if that's how it ends, I'll do one more match, but I'm expecting a signature or something rushed right away. They seem to be rushing back to stage. Throwing out that Sair was a bit of a panic option. I'm kind of just controlling space right now. They're fishing for dares, which, you know, Scythe Dare is a good move, but it is punishable. So, yeah, now they're fishing for signatures, trying to get the kill. I'm expecting a down sig or downlight or something. There's the down sig. Dodge in. There we go. Double D-light into recovery. And that should be the game, the kill, the video, the topic, the dusk, the boy, the child. Yeah, let me just end this.